we're talking about, do you have a healthy money mindset? I'm going to turn this one over to Jen because this is really her forte.
Thank you, Summer. Oh, I love this topic because as a former financial advisor, I've been in the financial space for almost 17 years. As a financial advisor, this was a topic that we didn't talk about often. Usually when we're feeling like, oh, I don't know what's going on with my money, I don't feel good, we think straight going to logistics. Spreadsheets, I got to do a budget, I need to have my portfolio analyzed. And I talk with Summer about this all the time, where it's like, yes, those are important. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but one of the things that I realized over the years was that everything is rooted in our subconscious patterns. This is why I have Dr. Summer Watson. And it's more psychological than anything. It's about the numbers, but it really isn't about the numbers. And so let's define what money mindset is to start off. So it is your unique and individual set of core beliefs about money. And you guys, if you've been following us, you know how much we talk about core values, core beliefs. And so it's also involving how money works in the world, and it's our attitude about money. All the different things that we grew up with, how does that affect the way that we look at money? And more importantly, how is it affecting our relationship with money?
Oh my gosh, all such really good questions. Here's something that just kind of like took me off my feet for a moment. When you said that wasn't something that you really talked about in the money space, the money mindset, it was like, wow, that's crazy.
It is. It totally is crazy. That's why I moved towards this, because I'm like, how could this not be the basis and foundation? But that's not how the traditional financial industry works.
I get that, right? Because we've been, again, conditioned to look at A, B, and C first, the strategy, right? But if somebody isn't actually applying the strategy because they're dealing with those subconscious patterns, how are you going to get past the behavior that's impacting the money and how you use it, save it, invest it, whatever you do with it? Because money can be such a sensitive subject. So why wouldn't you find, value in discussing mindset and money mindset first?
That is a great question. And that's exactly what the problem is that traditionally we're taught to just go straight to the numbers. Okay, well, are you doing a budget? Okay. Yeah, no, whatever the answer may be, but there is a reason why we have a money management problem. Mm-hmm. Think about it. You can go to another financial advisor. You can go and get another spreadsheet. You can buy another financial product, but there's going to be some breakdown why you don't stick to the plan, why you keep blowing it up. Why do you keep making the same bad decision-making over and over again? Because you're not stopping to take a look at what is your money mindset right now? Where did your decision-making come from? Where is that all rooted in? And it just blows my mind that this is how we don't do it. And so this is why we're talking about this today. And how do we have a healthy money mindset? So I got five tips, so we're going to go into it. And then Summer is going to comment because this lady is all about psychology. Love it, love it, love it. So the first one, I absolutely love this one, is first forgive your financial mistakes. I talk about forgiveness a lot. And anytime we are talking about this, because think about it. How many of you constantly blame yourself for like, gosh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I let my ex-boyfriend borrow $10,000 that I'm never going to see again. Or I can't believe I co-signed a credit card with my friend and she totally didn't take care of the other half of it. There's going to be these things in your life that, hey, we all mess up. We all have done stupid decision making. But one of the things that we need to do is learn how to forgive ourselves, because it's done and there is no purpose or reason or anything positive coming out of you constantly berating yourself. You are staying in a low vibrational frequency where you're staying and hovering in the guilt and the shame. And so this is important because you need to learn how to forgive yourself and release that so that you can move forward and feel better about what you're doing.
That's so important. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love that as a first step. Forgiving yourself, making that the first step, recognizing, first of all, that it's okay. You're going to be okay. Because at the end of the day, whatever happens, we're going to be okay. That's number one. Number two is forgiveness. Yes. And I love this suggestion. What's your number two, Jen?
Stop comparing yourself to others.
Boom.
I get it. We all do it. We all do it. And unfortunately, because of social media, it makes it way too easy to compare ourselves. Because I know you all out there are looking at some people's IG accounts. You're looking at those happy photos of people in tropical destinations. You're looking at, oh, I won another award, or hey, I won this. And I know what that feels like. And we need to stop comparing ourselves to others because we're looking at what they're achieving. Here's the thing. I always say this quote, I got it from a friend of mine from another financial company. And he says, you see the glory, but you don't know the story. You see the glory, but you don't know the story. And here's the thing. Everybody is walking their own journey and path. You don't know how those people made their money. You don't even know those people are functioning in debt. I mean, it is so crazy. There are like some influencers that have racked up debt trying to portray this lifestyle on social media. You don't even know if you're comparing apples to oranges. So you need to stop it and embrace and recognize that you have your own journey. And so recognize what it is that you are doing in your own life. And if you are still trying to figure out what you're doing, then watch our other video on purpose. So that I'll help you with this. But I think one of the things is so important that you need to stop comparing yourselves to others because you are walking your own story and your own journey. Summer?
Absolutely. You know, we just talked to a coach about this whole idea of basically keeping up with the Joneses, right? And as an influencer, he tried to do that. And it just got him racking up debt after debt after debt after debt. And he finally came to terms with like, what the heck am I doing?
Right.
Whose ruler am I using anyway to compare what I am or what I am not? And when we do that, we're always going to be at the low end of the ruler because we're going to be starting behind the curve because we're putting ourselves there because we're not supposed to be doing that. We are our own ruler. Yes. We are creating our own progress. So when we look at social media, that's called lifestyle marketing. That's called trickery. That's called, okay, if somebody got that award, awesome. Yeah. You know, we all have our wins, but we forget when we're looking at social media that it shows the beginning, the happy face, and it shows the yacht, the end, right? But
don't forget the Lamborghinis.
That's right? The Lamborghini.
The hot chicks.
And here we forgot all about that middle part, right? Where you're actually sharing a piece of pizza in a restaurant, taking a photo with a backdrop because you can't afford the whole dinner because it's $3,000, where splitting that piece of pizza was only $150, right? So we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And I'm sure you living in Los Angeles, Jen, have recognized when this happens and you see this when you've gone to a nice restaurant. Have you seen that?
Oh gosh, all the time. That's another video.
I know, right?
That's a whole other video.
So I'm going to let you go on to your next point, but here's the thing. Don't compare yourself to other people's rulers at all. Not necessary.
Yeah. Exactly. So number 3, figure out why you want to make the money. And this always goes back to the things that we talk about all the time, core values. What are your core values? Is it integrity? Is it adventure? Is it love? What are your values? And are you living an intentional life that reflects those values? Because sometimes I see people get lost in how they're making their money and how they're spending their money. And the sad part of it is when people are doing that and they're not basing it on their values, they are completely miserable. You may see, again, you see this story, you see what's being reflected, but these people are so miserable on the inside. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but for the few that are not living in alignment, you need to ask yourself, what am I even doing this for? Are you in alignment with your purpose? Do you even understand why you want the money? What do you want to use the money for? Is it to spend more time with your kids, your family? Is it to invest in your business? Because sometimes I think people get caught up in this, like you said, lifestyle marketing. You get caught up in that and you're completely miserable because now you jumped onto this hamster wheel of trying to put on this facade. So stop comparing yourself and figure out, why is it that you're trying to do this? What is it that you want to do with the money? Because I think a lot of times we don't even stop to pause that we've actually outlined our financial goals. Yeah, you may say, and this is, I've done polls on Facebook and whatnot, and everybody always complains like, I need more. But my question to challenge everybody out there is like, if you had more, what would you be doing with it though?
Yeah.
Because if you don't even have that outlined and you still have a poor money mindset and an unhealthy one, you're not going to just have more money. You're going to amplify the current problem.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with everything that you've said there. We talk about core values, and those core values align with everything that you do in your life, from relationships to money. And so it's time to understand what your core values are, to really understand and do the exercise. We have exercises. If you want to know more, reach out to us. We can go through the exercise with you regarding what are your core values and how do you identify those core values, and then what do you do with them, and what does it mean to live in alignment with your core values. All right, Jen.
Yes. So number 4 is create and maintain good money habits. And so what does that mean? Are you even looking at your money? Are you tracking it? Are you optimizing your budget for happiness? Because for me, as I'm working with people, it's not about like, okay, penny pinching and feeling miserable. Like, I think there's creative ways to find out, how can we infuse things that make you happy? Of course, you have to adjust, especially depending on the cash flow and income, but there are going to be some things that you can be totally honest with yourself and ask yourself, like, yeah, okay, I can do without XYZ because this thing is more important for me. So I want to figure out a way to make this happen. I'm willing to give this up. So make sure that you are practicing good money habits. Are you tracking? Do you know your credit score? Are you on top of things when it comes to your credit report? I mean, there's so many different things that I think we overlook all the time. And even including, building a financial foundation, having like estate planning, wills and trusts and insurance, or have you just been kind of ignoring it and not realizing that impending doom may come upon you one day? And it will. It's not if, it's when it will. And then you're going to realize you need to take care of it. That is not being in a healthy money mindset, because you're not allowing yourself to be prepared. And one of the phrases I use all the time is be proactive so you don't have to be reactive. So number 4 is maintaining and creating good money habits.
I'm going to add to this. And one of those money habits is language. And I'll tell you, years ago, my husband said to me, because I said something like, oh, I really need those shoes. And he's like, do you really need them or do you want them? Because there's a difference. And I said, ooh, ow, that kind of hurt. But he was right. He was right, because the language that I was using was contributing to my money habits.
Mm-hmm.
And so my language changed from that day to, if I wanted those, how was I going to make that happen? If I wanted that, what would I be doing to flex my, my money strategy, so to speak? Where would that happen for me to buy those shoes? Because I wanted them. Did I need them? No, but I wanted them. And if I did want them, what did that look like in relation to my habits, in relation to how I was going to look at my accounts and say, is this doable? And do I really want those today? So I think language a lot of times contributes to our money mindset and our habits.
You are absolutely right, Summer. That's exactly some of the things that we need to pay attention to. The words that we're saying. Are we saying, I can't afford this? Or are we saying, I'm choosing to put the money elsewhere? You know,
Right.
there's so many things with languaging, so pay attention to that. So thank you for bringing that up.
And I only mention that because it's such a simple way of starting to change. It's one of the first steps to starting change towards changing habits. So
yeah. So number 5 is be grateful and don't settle. And we hear this all the time, gratitude, but my goodness, it is so critical. It is so important that we learn how to practice gratitude. Because if we're constantly staying in a space of like, oh, I don't have this, and I wish I had this, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to dream, but it's your energy and it's the feeling that you're evoking when you're in this space. And I think one of the easiest things that you can do is have a gratitude journal. Take a notebook, and every day, for example, I do this all the time. Like, I'll write down at the end of the day the things that I'm grateful for. What are my wins for the day? I'll even look at, like, you know, what didn't work out so well, but I take the lesson from it. Like, okay, I'm acknowledging it. I'm not staying in that yucky space, but I'm acknowledging it. But I'm putting emphasis on, like, you know what? These are the things that are going great for me. Okay. It reminds me of all the little steps. And one of the most amazing things that I do is that I'll look back like a year from the current date, and I'll start reading through things. I'm like, man, it's funny. Like, you don't even remember what you wore or ate last week or yesterday. Yesterday.
Right.
So imagine being able to go back a couple months, a year from today, and look at all that progress. It does your energy so much good when you can look back and realize, like, yes, I have accomplished a lot. Yeah, you know what? I made this. I helped all these people, and staying in that attitude of gratitude, it just helps with this energy of a healthy money mindset that you are creating something good. You are making a difference. And what do you think it's going to lead to? More of it. Because the more that you stay in a attitude of not being grateful and focusing on all the things that are going wrong, and focusing on, like, I'm always in a constant state of lack or scarcity, you are in a sense asking God, the universe, like, hey, you know what, if that's what you just keep talking about, hey, I'll just keep giving you more of it. So it's so important that we reflect on the things to be grateful for, because every single day you are making some kind of progress.
Gratitude, so important. And I love the suggestion to put it down in a journal. End your night with, what are you grateful for? Or even begin your morning with your gratitude journal. Such good tips, all of them. So thank you, Jen, for sharing all these wonderful, healthy money mindset tips with us today.
Absolutely. So if you like this video, and thank you for being here with us, make sure to hit the thumbs up and comment below. What are some things that have helped you maintain a healthy money mindset? If there's something that we didn't cover, let us know in the comments below. And more importantly, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can find out about any other upcoming topics that we are going to be covering in the future. So thanks for being with us. And until next time, thank you.
Thanks.